This is Nightline, the line that's open at the right place at the right moment, and this is Walter O'Keefe. Good evening, and here's our first Nightline call tonight from Hollywood. Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life. Hey, George, you tell us, what is tonight's secret word?
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word is book. B-O-O-K.
Who cares?
You bet your life. The National Broadcasting Company presents Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz show transcribed from Hollywood. Groucho meets our first contestants in just 1 minute.
In centuries past, this was the sound that used to get the news around. Yes, in centuries past, the people on one side of the hill beat the drum to share the news of the world with the people on the other side of the hill. And since the world in those days was a smaller, more easygoing world, this was enough to get the news around. Ours is a chaotic age with critical events flashing across the face of the earth. Fortunately for us, we can keep up with these events because we have at our fingertips the fastest means of communication ever devised. We have radio. And NBC Radio, with news on the hour, keeps you alerted to world events wherever they happen, as soon as they happen. From ages primitive to present, people have wanted to keep up with events. And in our day and age, this is the sound that really gets the news around. This is Leon Pearson inviting you to keep up with the news on the hour all day, every day, over most of these NBC stations.
And here he is, the one, the only...
Well, here I am again with a chance for each of our couples to win up to $10,000. That's French. And if any of them say the secret word, they'll win an extra $100. That's English. George, who's first?
Oh, Groucho,
That's German.
Groucho, I'd like you to meet Nancy Anderson and Scott Edwards. So, folks, you can please and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word, and you'll divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. You little rascal, you. Nancy, I'll start with you because you are a little rascal, aren't you? Where are you from, Nancy?
Well, I was born in Edgewood, Maryland, but I just lived there for a few weeks, and then I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, and since then I've lived in Alabama and Georgia, and North Carolina.
Nancy, I notice you have a decided northern accent. How long have you been in Southern California?
Well, I've been here for 3 years, but I've lost most of my accent.
How does the city of the Angels compare with your city of the Dodgers, compare with your home down south? Which do you prefer?
Want me to tell you the truth?
I certainly do.
Well,
we don't have anybody...
I much prefer the South. I don't like the traffic and the smog, and I don't like the general attitude as well either. I think about the first day I was here, I went into a grocery store, and on the wall they've got signs, pickpockets will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, and absolutely no checks cashed, and forging checks is a felony, and you will be arrested. And this store is protected by the Eagle Eye Detective Agency, and where I come from, they have signs that say, through these doors pass the finest people in the world, our customers.
Well, you must remember that we have a lot of crooks in Los Angeles.
That's what I mean.
And you're Scott Edwards?
Yes, I am.
Where are you from?
I'm from Springfield, Mass, originally.
Oh, Springfield, Mass. Somebody out there from the Klondike. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
How old are you?
33.
And you're not married yet?
No.
Well, how is it a handsome, bright young fellow like you isn't married yet?
Well, I guess the right girl never came along, Groucho.
Oh. Well, perhaps you're doing something wrong. Just what do you do when you have a date with a pretty girl?
Well...
I mean, why don't you lie down and tell old Dr. Hackenbush all about it? It's only $30 an hour.
Well, actually, I have an apartment down at the beach at Malibu, and when the moon is on the water and the surf is nice, and we have a little pleasant music in the background and a little martini, it can be quite effective.
Well, it sounds very romantic. How do you fix your martinis?
Well, I mix 5 to 1.
You put in 5 parts gin to 1 part vermouth?
That's right.
Well, what do you need the moonlight and the music for? Now, what kind of work do you do, Scott?
Groucho, I'm in the technical sales department of Atomics International Division of North American Aviation.
Well, any job that has a title that long is usually short on pay. Actually, what do you do? Do you sell atomic bombs from house to house?
Now, we build atomic reactors for research and for power.
I always like to help a struggling and worthwhile young salesman. How much do they cost?
Well, a complete installation will go from $100,000 up to several million.
No, I don't mean never mind the total cost. I mean, how much would it be a month?
Well, I don't
if
know.
I can get it by the month, I'll take one. That is, if you give me trading stamps. Well, it's been a very pleasant experience talking to the North and the South simultaneously. And now let's get down to business and see how much money you can win. Now, you have selected from our list of 371 categories the foreign words and phrases. All of the following are foreign words or phrases used in everyday speech. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. What is the French phrase that means out of action? Well, it's hors de combat.
Oh. Well,
You should know that.
We have one wrong now. If you get the next one wrong, the game is over for you.
Now, what does the French words mal de mer mean?
Seasickness.
Yes, I'm rather you said it rather than displayed it.
You have one right.
What is the Latin phrase that means my other self or bosom friend?
Alter ego.
That's right, alter ego.
2 right.
Now, what is the German phrase that means till we meet again?
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen is absolutely right.
You now have 3 right. Get the next one right, and you'll have $1,000.
What is the French... No, what is the French phrase that means seek the woman?
Cherchez la femme.
Cherchez la femme is right.
And you've got 4 in a row, so you win $1,000.
Now, you've won $1,000. You can keep it and quit, or else you can come back later and try to double your money. You may even get a chance at $10,000. So why don't you go over there and sit down and think about it, and thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
In just a moment, our second couple will join Groucho to play You Bet Your Life.
When the ice is smooth and the sky is blue and the skaters' waltz is played for 2.
You make it Pabst, 'cause Pabst makes it perfect.
Yes, Pabst makes it perfect. Just as we always have ever since 1844. So next time, you make it Pabst, because Pabst makes it perfect. America's Blue Ribbon beer from the Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yes, Pabst makes it perfect.
Groucho, we have a couple of sisters ready to meet you now. One of them doesn't speak English. However, the other one is going to act as her interpreter. So here they are, Mrs. Ida Tondino and Mrs. Isabella Caracciolo. Would you
Welcome
please?
to you. That's enough of that. Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Well, there you are. Huh? Ida Tondino, Isabella Cacciolo, huh? Is that right?
Caracciolo.
Groucho?
Caracciolo.
Goraccio. That's where I keep my car in the Goraccio.
Caracciolo, conosciuto in tutto il mondo.
Now, you say you girls are from Germany?
Italiani.
Oh. This is Ida over here, huh?
Me.
Oh.
Ida.
You're the one that doesn't speak English, huh?
I speak English.
You speak English?
Yes.
Now ask Isabella how old she is.
Quanti anni tieni?
Beh, questa non dovrebbe dirmela questa domanda, perché non è domanda da fare a una donna.
She must be 100, huh?
Non si domanda mai l'età di una donna.
How old does she say she is?
47.
She's at 47, huh?
Yeah.
How much did she lose in the translation? You're married, huh?
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
35 years.
That's a very romantic
It's
to be married.
romantic, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
35 years. He must be a fine fellow, huh?
Yeah.
What was there about him that made you fall in love with him? Do you remember?
Nothing.
Well, at least you didn't hate him when you met him, did you? Now, Ida, you must have a lot on the ball to be able to hang on to your husband for 35 years.
Yeah.
Are you a good cook?
Cook, look at me. See, I'm a cook. Spaghetti, lasagna, ravioli, pizza, chicken cacciatore, everything you want, I cook for you.
Can you make a Garazio?
Caraccio, no, it's a name.
Now, while you're cooking, what does your husband do?
My husband was in the garage. Have a permit to
He's
make
in
wine.
the Garazio, you mean?
Garage.
He's in the garage?
Garage. You have a permit to make a wine. I call the people, have nice time for the friend and drink a wine.
He's in the garage making wine?
Yeah.
Doesn't he know prohibition is over? Why don't next time you see him, if you ever do, you know, if he ever comes out of there, tell him he can get it legally now. Isabella, what does your husband do for a living?
Dice, tu che marito che faccio per vivere?
È sarto?
Tell her.
He's a what?
Tell her.
No, you tell her. I don't care. What do you mean?
Just tell her. You make a suit for men.
He's a teller and he makes a...
Suit for men, that's it.
He's a tailor, huh?
Teller, yeah.
He's a tailor and he works in a bank?
No.
What does he do? Does he make suits with checks in them?
Suit for men. For you, for somebody else,
He
all
makes
men.
the suits?
Suit.
Oh.
He's cutting.
He's a cutter?
Yeah.
No. Ida, I'm curious about you.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you two find your way to the show here tonight?
Oh.
Did you have somebody else with you?
Oh, my brother, I think it's near ends over here someplace.
Your brother?
My brother, Raymond.
Could we get Ida's brother to stand up?
Raymond?
Yeah. Raymond, come up here. Hey, Raymond. How do you do?
That's me.
You know your sisters?
Yes, sir.
No. Now, what is your last name? Raymond what?
Cavallari. Raymond Cavallari.
Cavallari, huh?
Ha capito adesso?
Yeah, you. Oh. Raymond, is there anything I should know about Ida and Isabel that they haven't revealed yet? Or do you think we've covered all the bases?
You covered about everything except that my singing sister here has a little serenade for you. They want to serenade you or something.
Oh.
She brought along a guitar, and I think
you play
they would
Italian,
like to...
Spanish?
Yes.
Where is the guitar?
She'll play a little bit. We'll play
Ida,
a solo
get your
mio.
guitar and let's hear you sing. Sing anything you want, providing it isn't in English.
Yes.
Ida, you
What do
sing?
you want to sing? A solo mio?
You sing anything you want.
Anything you want? Solo mio. Solo mio.
Che bella cosa una giornata di sole, l'aria serena dopo una tempesta. Quell'aria fresca sembra già una festa. Che bella cosa una giornata di sole. Manato sole,
Ida, Isabel, Raymond was charming.
Thank you.
And if you're smart, you'll do something with a guitar. Smash it into 1,000 pieces. That was real good. I like it. How you like my singing?
Good.
It's good, huh?
Good.
Well, let's hope you can win some money in the quiz. I doubt it, but let's see. Raymond, this is an unusual thing. We rarely do this, but we're going to let you help them because they've only been in this country 35 years. 37 years, pardon me. Now, you selected mythology. George, you help him too, huh? You go. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Why don't you take it on a subject?
No, they like that.
Oh.
All right, you ready? What handsome youth fell in love with his own reflection in the water?
Quale bel giovane si è innamorato della sua riflessione nell'acqua?
Narciso.
Narcissus, that's right, yeah. How do you say it?
Narciso.
Narciso, yes, that's pretty good. I thought that was an Italian cheese.
You have one right now.
One right.
All right. Who carved a marble statue of a maiden and then fell in love with her?
Chi ha scolpito l'immagine di una ragazza e poi è caduto in amore con
Pigmalioni.
Hey, these kids are no
You now have two right.
They don't need any help. He does.
Back to the old job.
Who in mythology held up the heavens on his shoulders?
Chi nella mitologia ha mantenuto il cielo sulle spalle?
Atlante. Atlante.
Atlas, that's right.
You now have three right.
Who attached his wings with wax, flew too near the sun, and dropped into the sea?
Chi è stata che ha messo le ali
Di
di cera
figlio.
e...
Dedalo, al figlio Icaro.
Yes, that's right. Icarus. Oh, I thought these were such schlemiels. You know, I think this whole accent and dialect was a big fake, the whole thing. They were probably born in Boston, around Harvard College. Now, you've won $1,000. Now, you can keep it and quit, or else you can come back later and try to double your money. You may even get a chance at $10,000. So go over and sit down and think about it. No matter what you decide to do, we were delighted having you on the show. You were a wonderful trio.
We'll find out if any of our contestants will try for $10,000 in just a moment.
This is William Holden, and I'd like to ask you a question. You ever try to move 10 tons? Virtually impossible, I'd say. Yet you have a little muscle that can and does accomplish the equivalent amount of work every day. It's your heart. And it actually pushes 5 to 10 tons of blood through your body every 24 hours. But strong as it is, it can be damaged. It can be affected by various diseases like high blood pressure and hardening of the arteries, which can cause disability and death. Medical investigators are working continuously on these and other diseases of the heart and the blood vessels. Victory will be closer if we join our medical men in their all-out efforts to conquer heart disease. Give generously. Give generously to Help Your Heart Fund. Help your heart. Send a contribution now to your local heart association or to Heart, care of your post office.
Well, here's a story on the big question. Mrs. Tondino and Mrs. Caracciolo have decided to keep their $1,000. They're not going to try for the big money. But Nancy Anderson and Scott Edwards have a different decision, and here they are to tell you all about it.
Now, you won $1,000. Now, if you decide to try for the 10 and you fail, you wind up with a total of $500. Now, what are you going to do?
I'm going to try.
Both of us.
Now, get together and pick a number from 1 to 10, and then after you pick the number, spin the wheel.
You pick a number.
And Remember, if any number besides the one you pick comes up, the question is worth $2,000. If your number comes up, the question is worth 10. What number have you chosen?
We're going to try 3.
Well, give it a turn. No, you said 3 and it came 10, so this question is worth $2,000. You ready? I doubt if there's anyone alive who hasn't heard of Grace Kelly's marriage to Prince Rainier. For $2,000, can you tell me Grace's new last name? What is the answer you two have decided upon?
Anything better? I don't know whether I can pronounce it, not, but it's Monaco or whatever the name of the kingdom is.
No, I'm sorry. It's Grimaldi.
Oh.
Grimaldi. So I'm sorry you missed it, but you wound up with $500. That isn't too bad. Congratulations, and that'll buy you a lot of martinis.
You Bet Your Life is transcribed in Hollywood. Produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jack Meakin. This is George Fenneman reminding you to tune in again next week, same time, same station, to hear the one, the only Groucho. And see Groucho every Thursday evening on NBC television. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces around the world.
Victoria de Los Angeles appears on the telephone hour tonight on NBC.